Hello, and welcome back to another episode of TM Talk. I'm Professor Tommy, joined as always with my good friend and co-host, Professor Ashley. And today we are of unified minds as we are discussing the Toronto Regional Championship that just happened this past weekend. And kind of go through all three games like we normally do. We're going to go through Pokemon Go, VG, and TCG. Tell you all the cool, exciting happenings and storylines that happened during that time. And then, of course, we're going to be talking about how you can get in contact with us, how we've been doing, and something new for this episode. We're going to play Guess the TM. So it should be a fun time, had by all. But of course, first and foremost, we'd love to hear from you all about what you guys are thinking about with Pokemon, what you guys want to talk about, what kind of new things you're into or things have you heard and want to know more about. So to do that, get in contact with us. Reach out to us at Gmail with a TM Talk Podcast at gmail.com. You can reach us on all the socials, which is X and YouTube at TM Talk Podcast. And you can listen to us anywhere you consume your podcasts, on Amazon Music, Spotify, and on YouTube. So looking forward to getting all that information from you guys, all your guys' different comments and shout outs. We love to read them online and on the air. So that way you guys can share in the glory that is TM Talk. So appreciate all that. So before we get into everything though, Ashley, how you been doing this past week?
I have been utterly exhausted for whatever reason. It might be the cold, maybe it's been so cold this past week and I'm tired of winter. I know some people love the winter and they're like, oh, I can just like cover up with all the blankets, but my body is not equipped for the cold. I was a summer baby and I think that's why I'm been so tired recently, because I just want to cuddle up in my blankets and just sleep all day and hibernate. So I've been doing a lot of sleeping this week. But other than that, it's been all right. My cousin came down for a couple days. We hung out. That was pretty fun. Just took him back today. So it's been a pretty, not really eventful week, but I actually got to play Pokemon for the first time in a while.
All right.
It's been a while since I've been able to consistently go to League because of work and everything. So I can jump back into that. So how have you been doing this week?
I've been doing all right. Same thing. Like, I don't mind winter so much as long as it's not too cold. And I think we've gotten a little baby during this winter. It's been a very mild winter out here. And so this week has actually said, oh, no. Guess what? The sun does not work as strongly as it used to. And it's been pretty cold out. So just trying to make sure the chickens are good. They survive this winter weather. And then also just trying to keep up with the league and everything else. Work is starting to hopefully slow down, go over this hurdle of this big project. So now just kind of like in maintenance mode and what's next mode. So I'm just hoping to do well there and have more time for Pokemon. There was a couple times there where I had to bow out and not show up to League because of things that are going on at work. So glad to have some time back to be able to do that again and explore the Pokemon game again, maybe getting to play in Pokemon Go a little bit more consistently now, and then like explore this meta of TCG that we have, which is pretty, I don't know, I feel like it's new, but it's not. We've and we'll talk about that as we talk about the Toronto Regionals, but just really wanted to get into maybe looking at some decks for the future here, past rotation, because everybody's talking about that. We had some exciting news from Pokemon about that. We finally have a date for rotation as well. And then, just kind of trying to keep up with everything. So I hope you get over your winter slump and don't hibernate on me like a Blood Moon or Saluna. And
I will try my best not to.
But yeah, no, I know it sucks. Winter doesn't, and winter's not fun, but we can get through it. Just think you're a snow runt. Snow runts love the winter.
Or snom. There we go.
There you go. All right. Well, let's go ahead and get into these Toronto regionals right now. So with Pokemon Go, as always, we're gonna go through 3 games. Pokemon Go was an exciting tournament altogether. Just finished watching some of the finals here, and it was DHC United who took home the gold here in Toronto with a pretty interesting team here of Empoleon, Corviknight, Furret, Shadow Gyarados, Shadow Marowak, and Altaria. So he was up against a Kelsic, which was interesting to me is that she almost had the same team, but she actually had a Jellicent on her team. So I was like, oh, we have some TCG bleeding over into Pokemon Go here. So cool to see that. But it did, so DHC United did come from the losers bracket. So he actually went for the first 3-0, went undefeated. They've reset the bracket. But Kelsic was not going to go out without a fight in that bracket reset. She was able to win 1 game, but DHC United pretty much showed his dominance there in that whole match and finished up and won the bracket and the tournament there, which was pretty interesting to see because his Empoleon was really his MVP of his team, right? He was just able to kind of switch in at the right time, catch a charge attack from Kelsic, and then be able just to sweep the rest of her team with Empoleon. This is DHC United's first regional win out of his 3rd altogether tournaments, and his first tournament was just in November of last year. So you do the math about how long he's been in the competitive scene there for Pokemon Go, but really exciting win for him, and great things coming along. I think that was kind of like this tale of this regional altogether, just kind of like these new faces coming up and into the forefront of the games and really putting everybody on notice that, hey, like I'm here to stay, I'm here to play, and you guys aren't the only ones that can play this game. So congratulations to DHC United on that victory, and looking forward to seeing what's next from him and the rest of the Pokemon Go field as we move forward with other regionals.
Yeah, it's always super cool to hear those stories of players that are just now starting to like get into the competitive scene and doing really well. Just goes to show you like you don't have to play it forever to be super good, but it also kind of makes me wonder how long they had actually been playing Go before they decided to jump into the competitive scene. If it was just something that they just kind of just picked up recently, or if they've been playing for a while. But either way, it's still a super cool story to top your regional out of just 3 that you've been to. That's crazy to think about.
Yeah, it's amazing, and congratulations to DHC United for that, because it is. I mean, whether you've been playing competitive for a long time, just never went to an actual regional or not, I mean, there is a big jump in tournament play from like playing a local like challenging cup and then going to a regional, right? Because you're playing against a multitude of players from across the nation, across the world now. As we look at some of these other players that are from all over, right? So it's not just that region. You really are playing almost, a mini IC at that point. So to keep your composure and to keep going all the way through, it speaks volumes of either it's been playing the game for a long time or just very highly confident into what they're doing. So congratulations on that. And it's pretty cool to see. So what are your thoughts, Ashley, on VG and the rest of the tournament?
Yeah, I think it's since we're in a different regulation now, it's kind of interesting this because we haven't really seen these teams being played in a while. So for us to kind of switch, because the last time we did one of the regionals, we were in a different regulation, but now we're in Regulation F. So now we're going to start seeing some different Pokemon. A couple of them that we've seen that are the same are the Incineroars, obviously, the Brillabooms, because those are just really good Pokemon. But now you're going to see some of the Roaring Moon, the Raging Bolt, them big guys. We're going to start seeing a lot of those. So it'll be interesting to see how the rest of the regulation develops after Toronto into the next one. So, without further ado, we'll jump into our expertise of TCG. So This is the first regional of 2026. And from what I heard, it was very, very snowy. They got a lot of snow there. So I saw that there was a lot of competitors that didn't end up making it out to Toronto because of the snow.
Yeah, a lot of travel delays and all that kind of stuff. So even some locals that we know have had a lot of travel mishaps and all that kind of stuff came out there. But thankfully they made it. But yeah, there's a lot of weather conflicts there and things like that. So, but let's go ahead and let's look at the field of for regionals here and kind of look at exactly what we're kind of looking at with the meta share of TCG and all that kind of stuff. So I have variant grouping on, so therefore it's any kind of version of the deck is playing. That's how come we got the meta share here. So top of the charts, the story of this TCG meta was Goldango, really ahead of everyone else at 21.75% of the meta share overall. And then followed by Dragapult at 15%, Charizard at 14%, and Gardevoir also at 14%, pretty much splitting those two, or tying both of them together at 14.3%. And then the next closest one was Enzorark at 4.28%. So pretty tight meta here, like more than likely you're going to be seeing one of these four decks here. And then after that, it was kind of like, hey, it's a murder's row here of anybody else you can probably see of Enzorark, Marnie's Grimmsnarl, Alakazam, Mega Absolbox. And I think the streams and everything like that was kind of given the same impression, right? Because like every stream we watch, at least from what I saw, was either Goldango versus Dragapult, Goldango versus Mega Absolbox, Goldango versus whatever, or Charizard. And really the Charizard that was out here, if I take this variant grouping off, we're going to see here that Charizard Noctowl was the favorite Charizard version to play here. So definitely, with Stugart being the recent tournament that we had and showing the dominance that Charizard Noctowl had, a lot of people came out here at 10% of that share playing Charizard Noctowl. So pretty interesting to me, especially because I knew by coming out here to North America, there's going to be a lot more Dragapult Dusknoir players here. And then also just Charizard being on the map. With that, I felt that it wasn't really the best play because your worst matchup is Dragapult Dusknoir, which is played a lot here in North America. So if you could dodge them and get in top cut and hope none of them were in there, you can make it to the top there. But good luck to all those Charizard Noctowl players that are out there playing that, because they did come out with a 50% win percentage, which is a great win percentage overall for that deck. And then as we see here, the Gardevoir and Gardevoir Jellicent debate is still going on about which one's the best. So pretty cool. Like I said, it's new, but it's not, right? Because Goldango Lunatone being way up at the top just shows that, hey, that deck is very dominant right now in its play style with its Soul Rock Lunatone combo, being able to get an early one prize attacker out there. There's so many different tech cards you can play with Mega Mawile. You can play the Hops Cramorant, which we have seen, and now Mega Lopunny EX actually is a big inclusion into this deck as well. Another Cornerstone counter EX, Cornerstone EX counter, and also something good for the mirror matchup as well. So what are your thoughts on this meta share, Ashley? Anything that pops out to you as you're looking at this?
Nothing really like super that pops out, but it is very interesting that Goldango was the very top choice for this tournament. You can see that there was just so many, like it just overpowered all the rest of the choices. But it was kind of cool to see the Charizard Noctowl kind of come over here to North America and start being played, because we talked about that even in the interview with Jesper Eriksson. And it's a pretty cool deck. I still have not got to play it, but it's definitely a cool little inclusion. But the only other one that like I guess would stick out is that we're starting to see a lot of this Alakazam to Dunsparce And I don't know if anybody that is listening has actually played against it, but it's very interesting. It's very cool. I played it against it in our last challenge that I played in, and man, they just draw cards like crazy, and then they can one shot a lot of things. So pretty, it's a pretty cool deck. Now I don't know, like like I said, I haven't really dug into it, so I don't know what it's good against and what it's bad against, but it is still a pretty cool deck. I guess that would be the one that I would say that kind of jumps out at me.
Yeah, yeah, for sure. Nothing really has been shaken up here because I mean, since Stuger, with Phantasmal Flames, it doesn't seem like anybody's really innovated any more decks. So we haven't seen anything new besides the Charizard knocked out deck. So I definitely agree with you. That's cool to see Alakazam up here. I mean, it's in here in the top 10 for sure. And it's a really cool one prize deck. Can kind of throw some things for a loop. Of course, just I haven't played too much with it, but from what I can just think of, the biggest problem it probably has is Dragapult Dusknoir. Just because of the multiple prizes that they can take and just kind of blow up your board in one moment. So I would think that if we have a big Dragapult Dusknoir field, the Alakazam is probably having a harder time. But really with anything else, right? Like you said, has the one hit knockout capabilities and potential to really kind of go wild here. So interesting for sure. Let's look at our conversion rates here as well as we move on. We can see that we have Goldango, right, with a 16.92 conversion rate. And then Dragapult with 21%, Charizard knocked out 22.94, Gardevoir 28.32, and Gardevoir Jellicent with 19.61. And as we go down the rest of the field here, so that's pretty much what we saw right in our top 16 was it was Goldango, it was Dragapult, Dusknoir, a lot of Gardevoir. No Charizard knockdowns actually made it to the top cut, but quite a bit made it to day 2. And so it's kind of the overall, it kind of went to more the same of what we're used to, especially in North America here, which is just looking at a lot of Gardevoir, Dragapult matchups or Dragapult mirror or Gardevoir mirrors. So looking at this top 16 here or the top cut, Ashley, anything that you see that you're like, oh yeah, that was actually pretty cool, or any matches that you remember that really stuck out to you?
I think one of the biggest matches that stuck out to me was the one against man, I wish I could pronounce her name correctly. It's whoever got the third place. She
Yeah,
was
I believe.
against
Go ahead.
she was against a Goldango player. I think it was Justin.
Yeah.
And he had no other way to retrieve any of his energies, and she just badooed back and forth until it decked him out, and then she won the game. So I thought that was pretty cool. And that was like a lot of cards to go through as well.
Yeah, for sure. I believe her name's Karis Jones. I believe that's how the announcers were saying it during the tournament. I think it was Karis. I want to say Cirrus, but I believe it's Karis Jones. And it was pretty awesome. And what was really cool too is that both Justin this is his first year as a master, getting a top 8 here, and then Karis has just been a master only for a couple years, maybe a year or two. And so it was really cool to see so many new faces in these top cuts and these stream matches, really shaking up this top 16. So it's really awesome to see that, and just a very innovative way to play, knowing her outs. And I think what they did with this tournament was that they actually, before every top cut match, each player had 2 minutes to look at their opponent's deck list. So it really helped her out, I think, understanding about, okay, what did Justin play? He wasn't playing the Lana's Aid. So really, no, I don't think he was playing a Turo, maybe only one copy of Turo. I guess we can look into it here, but knowing that there's no way he can really get out of like the lock. Yeah. So he plays to the 2 copies of Turo, the 1 copy of Cypher Maniacs, no Lana's Aid. And then, so of course, with being Badooed, item locked, not playing the recovery items to get an energy, and without Lana's aid, really just at the mercy of that Badoo, that pesky Badoo, right? And getting decked out. So interesting way to play, and a really cool strategy there, because a lot of people have just been like scooped and maybe moved on to the next match or something like that. But that way to win really kind of gave her that win, or that gave her the win of the match to be able to move on to the top 4. So,
and it shows you how like important it is to know, like, I know that they had open deck list, so knowing your opponent's deck to begin with, but also knowing just like the base, pretty much the base counts of each meta deck, how important it is, because then you can make those decisions based off of that knowledge, and that really showed her skills as a player.
Yeah, for sure. And definitely too here, like, she was tagging for Goldango, right, with the Moltres in here, which, funny enough, never came up in that matchup. So I think she benched it maybe one time, but really just being able to item lock them out with that Badoo, and then being able to just set up her board, and just knowing her outs, knowing her lines for victory, really just came in clutch for her. So congratulations to her for that innovative win, for sure, getting her up to the top 4. But as we look at the rest of the field here, I mean, like, a lot of people that we haven't seen before, or that maybe we haven't seen too much of. So, I mean, like Emma Hagen, of course, did really well in a European regional. Cannot remember which one. I believe it was Lily's or Leal's. With the Flare and Knocked Out deck, came out with 13th overall here in Toronto. And then we have Luis Guerrera here with Marnie's Grimmsnarl, Frostlass at the top 12. We saw some players like Henry Chow actually being defeated by, like Katie Montgomery here, which is, she's been playing for a while, but not really a well-known name. We haven't seen her really in like at the top cuts and the top of these regionals a lot, and just came out and was able to squeak out a victory over Henry with her Dragapult Dusknoir deck. So congratulations there, and a lot of Dragapults here in the final cut, and a couple of Gardevoir sprinkled in here. I think what surprised everybody was the Raging Bolt getting to the finals. So if we look at the Raging Bolt deck list real quick, I mean, what's interesting to me is seeing a Wellspring Ogerpon in here, and then also the Sandy Shocks. So looking at this, and Mega Kangaskhan as well. So a little tweak on Raging Bolt from what we know of it. What are your thoughts on any of the top 16 or any of these deck lists, Ashley, as we're looking at them?
I was going to say, this is definitely an interesting Raging Bolt list. This is super interesting. It's not like what we've seen in the past with Raging Bolt, because usually they play like the Raging Bolt with the Teal Mask or the Raging Bolt with the Noctowls. It's typically like one or the other, but they play both of them. And then also the inclusion of the Kangaskhan and the Sandy Shocks and the Ogerpon was very interesting. I'm sure that they definitely have the reasons for each one, but that is super cool.
Yeah, definitely. Looking at this here, I mean, I can only think right now of like, of course, going blind second, like you want to do with Raging Bolt anyway. Probably, even though you play the Noctowls, only because you had that potential of wiping your opponent's board out with the Wellspring Ogerpon, especially if you're up against a Dragapult or something like that, where Raging Bolt does have a little bit of a difficulty against them. But being able to play Wellspring right away or something like that, or you have plenty of draw power with Mega Kangaskhan and the Mew EX in here, and you have Pheasantipity as well. So really interesting deck list all around here. I would like to get my hands on this and start playing around with this and seeing how this plays out. So seems pretty cool to me.
It for sure does. I think I'm going to have to build it too.
Yeah. For sure. And then, of course, taking it home all the way was a Gardevoir Jellicent player, Giovanni Sasso, coming in 15-2-1 from Brazil and winning all the way with this Gardevoir Jellicent deck. really nothing really sticks out to me here. It looks like an average Guardy Jellicent deck here with a 2 Frillish to 1 Jellicent. 2/1/2 line of Gardevoir EX with the Mega Diancie, of course. And we saw a lot of cool plays. At least I did on stream, watching other players play, like Brent Tonneson. Amazing matchup that he had against Emma with the Flareon Noctowl deck, where she got going, was looking like she was taking it all the way, and then he was able to kind of come. She lost a little bit of steam, like Flareon Noctowl does, because like the last couple of knockouts is kind of like the hard part to try to piece together, and kept his collection, kept his cool, kept his composure, and was able to kind of piece together a victory of 2-2-2. Actually, a 2 prize knockout, and then setting up for a 4 prize knockout on the next turn. So really interesting plays here. I have to compare the two decks to see what the difference is. But of course, Team Rocket's Watchtower made its way into a lot of people's decks because trying to tech for that Charizard Noctowl and stopping those colorless Pokemon from being able to use their abilities there. So pretty cool here. Ash, I know you played Guardy before, especially Guardy Jellicent. Anything in here that kind of caught your eye about anything different from a normal list that you've played in the past?
I think the only thing that was different than what I really played was they've added the Diancie since I played and the Mystery Garden, because I don't remember playing either one of those. This is a pretty cool list. It looks pretty solid.
Yeah, for sure. And that it's a cool combo with Lily's Clefairy in here, definitely giving Dragapult players a headache, right? Because they can come in with Lily's Clefairy on the bench, play Mew EX, use genome hacking to copy Dragapult's Phantom Dive, be able to knock out Dragapult in one hit because of the weakness effect that Lily's Clefairy gives, and then being able to knock something else out on the bench with the 60 overall or just spread damage to set up some other knockouts as well. So, and of course, in that, with if you can get the Monkey Dories involved and spreading some damage around, so on and so forth, I mean, you can really do some crazy stuff there, and so it's really cool to kind of see the different innovations we see from Gardevoir players as they come out. So yeah, cool list altogether. Anything else you wanted to discuss with this tournament?
I was scrolling through. I was trying to see, since we talked about that Alakazam, but I really didn't see any of them do like super
Yeah,
well.
I don't know if anyone made it to day 2. The Crustle here is at 75th.
Oh, here we go. So
You
one
see
made
it?
it 130th. There was
Okay,
also
I'm
a
almost there.
festival lead at 133 too.
Oh,
So
yep, I see
interesting.
that as well. So 130th here with Alakazam, James Crow, or excuse me, James Chow from Canada. 130th place, 941 altogether. Yeah, I mean, I've played against this deck maybe once or twice. I was looking into it, but I never really got to play it. It's really interesting though with the psychic draw ability, and then also playing the Dunsparce with the runaway draw. And the Psyduck, the Shaman has helped protect you from, Dusknoir plays, and also the Marnie's Grimmsnarl plays from putting damage on your bench as well. And then playing the Togekiss in here too is pretty interesting to get that extra prize card, really get you ahead of the race there, which is pretty cool.
I was gonna say,
I'm
I
sure.
think the one that I played against, I don't think that they played the Togekiss in theirs, and if they did, they definitely never got it set up. So I was gonna say that's definitely a good way to try and get extra prizes from your knockouts too, and make it a
Oh
little bit
yeah,
more turbo.
Yeah, for sure. And definitely you can see that they're teching a lot for the Dragapult matchup. So they have the Psyduck, they have an enhanced hammer, and then even the 3 copies of Battle Cage in here. So really just protecting against those Dusknoir blow up decks like Dragapult. Even now this Mega Lopunny EX Dusknoir build as well, stopping those kind of shenanigans from being able just to blow them up, be able to let them stay in the game and take some prize cards. So yeah, that's pretty cool.
Did you see any decks on here that kind of stuck out to you?
what really stuck out to me is just kind of the overall dominance of Goldango. Like I was surprised. Like I figured that Goldango would be probably one of the top 3 decks in the meta share, but the top, and also being the top by 20% on I think day one, and then the conversion rate and all that kind of stuff was just wild to me. Like I said before, the play of Charizard Noctowl. Let's see what's at the bottom here. Charizard Noctowl was definitely something interesting to play, but I feel like a lot more Dragapult players are here in North America. So playing that deck to this tournament, like I said, you'd probably need a little luck on your side to not run into so many Dragapult Dusknoirs on your way here. But we actually had a Greninja down here in 500th place. That's pretty cool. I'd like to see some innovation. I've seen some Garchomps in here, Cynthia's Garchomps. Even a Slowking deck is in here. So there are some people playing some off-meta decks. But as we saw, there is a lot of high-tier meta decks, like as we expected, right? The Kangaskhan Bouffalon deck is one that I've actually wanted to start playing. Could check it out a little bit because it is very interesting to me. Just making this Mega Kangaskhan already with a 300 HP for a basic Pokemon, more of a tank with the Bouffalon, playing the Crustle in here as well. So a lot of disruption, or I should say maybe like a stall or wall type deck to make it very difficult for your opponent to be able to take prize cards while you're just flipping coins for the most damage possible, or just punching into an Ogerpon EX with your Crustle here. Making people not have a good time while they're playing.
And then using all the jumbo ice creams to heal it.
I mean,
that's crazy.
Like that Kangaskhan and that Crustle are very hungry, and they love ice cream. Look at that jumbo ice cream. That looks like the ice cream you get from Charlie's at in the Walmart, right? That's how much they give you there. So I think that's what they heal you up with that. So it's pretty cool. Interesting deck list all around. But it's interesting because we're kind of on the downslope here of the G format with Pokemon. So really seeing these decks kind of coming out, and I hope I'm not getting anybody's motion sickness scrolling this fast, but just going through these decks and kind of seeing like, okay, there are a lot of decks in here that we're going to be losing in the next couple of months. Gardevoir sticks out to me, one in my mind. Definitely Charizard as well. Goldango we're going to be losing. And I think Dragapult really is one of the top meta decks right now that don't lose too much, if anything. Playing here, I mean, maybe Arvins. You have to figure out what you're going to play besides Arvins, if they're still played. And then Zoroark really is going to be looking pretty strong, I think, after rotation. Actually, when Ascended Heroes comes out with a new Zekrom that they can play. So I'm interested to see how that works out. And as I said, and as we lean towards some other, we lean away from the TCG tournament, and we talk about our rotation, right? We got news from Pokemon.com that the standard format rotation for 2026 will go into effect on April 10th of 2026. So we're going to lose all of our G cards, right? So Gardevoir, once again, right, is the staple of the G cards. Pure dominance since it came out, went all the way through, and just has seemed like it's been the deck that can never die, right? So finally rotation has come for Gardevoir, but it's coming for a lot of EX Pokemon. So I'm really interested to see how that happens, or how that goes for the format, how that really shakes things up. So that's kind of my thoughts on the tournament and kind of looking forward. What are your thoughts on rotation, or any final thoughts on that Toronto tournament?
It always, anytime, like I've only been around for just like 2 or 3 rotations, but it always is such a weird feeling when people start talking about it, especially like we're just like in the middle of January and people are already talking about rotation. I'm like, it's still like 3 months away, guys. Like, let me enjoy what I want to for right now. But for those of you who are like extremely competitive, like getting prepped for rotation is definitely something that you always need to be prepared for, because you're gonna like, I don't know about everybody else, but I have a binder of meta cards that I keep and I take to league with me. And then I have like all my trainers in boxes like this, and they're all sorted. So whenever rotation comes out, it's such a hassle trying to pull all of those cards out to where it's only in format. So it's a lot of work, and I'm interested to see what kind of decks we're going to see after rotation, especially with a couple of the new sets coming out, because we've got Ascended Heroes coming out, and then we've got Perfect Order coming out. And then eventually, at some point, we'll have the 30th anniversary coming out. There's going to be a lot of cool sets this year. Going to be a lot of interesting cards. So I feel like the format is going to be shaken up a whole lot. I remember
for sure.
scrolling on Twitter the other day, and somebody had said, I think the one that's probably going to be the most heartbroken is Jesse Parker, because he's going to lose out on his Miraidon. Because if you guys do not know, Jesse Parker was a big Miraidon player, and he still played it. He played it at Toronto.
Oh, yeah, he did.
Yeah. I don't remember what place he got. Let me see.
I remember he did pretty well. And while you're looking that up, I mean, just to explain to our maybe some new players or players who haven't been through a rotation before, what it means is that in the standard format for TCG, we play with regulation markers, and we play with the last 3 regulation markers. So right now we're in the GHI regulation. So every year, there's what we call is rotation, where the oldest regulation marker actually is no longer legal and makes way for the new cards that are being printed. So in April, we'll go from GHI to HIJ. So with that being said, so any card, if you look at the graphic of Gardevoir here, at the very bottom, you see that it has a G in this white kind of oval pill here. So any card with a G marker will no longer be legal in standard format. That doesn't mean go ahead and throw them away or light them on fire or anything like that. They're still collectible cards. You can still play with them in expanded tournaments and also fun local tournaments depending on what the format they were playing there. And so you can always hang on to those cards for that. But in standard format and all the competitive Pokemon play tournaments, G will no longer be viable. So where does this really get? This can kind of confuse some players because of trainer cards, because there've always been a lot of reprints of trainer cards. So you may see that in some people's decks, even they're playing standard format, but they may have some older illustrations of trainer cards, for example, like Ultra Ball or Boss's Orders, cards like that. And that's because they've been reprinted. So for example, like Rare Candy from the Sun and Moon expansion can still be used because the card Rare Candy from the Pokemon TCG Mega Evolution expansion has an I regulation mark. So if those cards have been reprinted into the new regulation, you can always use those old illustrations. So looking towards that. If you have any more questions or anything like that, hit us up, let us know, comment on the video, or write us through email or on our Instagram at TM Talk Podcast, or email us at tmtalkpodcast@gmail.com. So, but yeah, that's pretty much rotation nutshell for everybody. But go ahead, Ashley, I don't know if you found that yet or not about Jesse.
I did, and he placed 43rd. So he did pretty well with it. He's playing the Magnemite Magneton line, where you can, it's kind of like a Dusknoir, but it charges up your Miraidon or Iron Hands or whatever you've got out there. So
yeah, it was a pretty cool deck. I saw him play on stream. And it seemed really like interesting because it was, I think we're used to seeing Miraidon now being used as like in Iron Hands or in like Joltik box, right? Where it's more just like a setup Pokemon of like, okay, I'm just here to draw 2 more electric Pokemon to your bench, which of course Jesse is using it for that, but he's actually also had it as a viable attacker as well. I mean, it's doing 220, especially with that Magneton, you can power it up right away with its ability as well. And it was interesting because his whole strategy was take 2 knockouts with Iron Hands or Miraidon at the very beginning, and then use Magneton to blow up, give your opponent an extra prize card. So now he's behind. He's able to then knock something out with Zekrom because I think it does 150 and then 50 for each prize card your opponent has taken. So he's able to take 2 prize cards from that, and then finally clean up with like either Blood Moon or another Iron Hands or some kind of final attacker, right, to close out the game. So it was an interesting kind of strategy to go with that, especially because like he had the Defiance Band, so you can go Blood Moon, Defiance Band, knock out the very last, but he's purposely giving his opponent a prize card to offset their prize map, so he's able to use his Defiance Band or damage modifier at the end there to take the final knockout. So it was really interesting to me to kind of hear his strategy on that as he was playing that stream matchup. So
Yeah, super cool. I haven't played Miraidon in a while. I might want to play it like once or twice before rotation hits. But
yeah, it's a good deck. It's a good deck. It's still out there, still doing well. And I think it's a testament of you don't always have to just like drop what you're playing and go with what just won the latest tournament, right? Or like, oh, let me go see the top 16 and I'll just play one of those decks. I mean, Jesse has been a Miraidon believer since day one. I mean, it took him all the way to top 4 at Worlds. He is forever encased in Pokemon Legacy with his Worlds deck print that he got, and he's still playing Miraidon to this day. A lot of people have lost faith in it, or maybe don't see it as a viable Pokemon as it is. He still find a way to play it well, and be able to do very well with it in the tournament. So,
yep. All right. So for the first time, we are going to play Guess the TM. So I'm going to read the TM's, what basically the Pokédex entry of the TM, and Tommy is going to try and guess. And if he can't, I'll give him a couple hints, and then if he still can't guess, then I'll just tell him what it is. Are you ready?
All right. Yeah, I'm ready. So I have lifelines, right? Like I have some kind of.
Yes.
All right. So what are my lifelines then? Like what are my 3? Is there anything specific, or are you just going to give me hints, period?
So I'll give you, if you can't get it, I'll give you the type it is. And
Okay.
then if you still can't get it, I'll give you, let's do the power and accuracy. And I think that's it.
Okay.
Well, I guess I can give you the category too.
Okay.
It'll make it fun. All right, so
I'm ready. Let's do this.
This one is from the red, blue, and yellow. I figured we'll start out with the OGs. So you ready?
Yeah. Oh yeah, I'm ready.
So the user of blank will tuck it in its head on the first turn and raise its defense by 1 stage. On the second turn, blank deals damage.
Okay, so it's like a defense type move. I immediately started thinking like Harden or something like that, but then it's a move that takes like 2 turns. So you play it 1 turn, you tuck your head in, be able to get your defense up, and then you do an attack.
And then you go for it.
Okay. All right. Oh man, and it's from the OGs. Okay. See, what's really bad is that I always ignored the TMs.
So
like, I'm like, okay, cool.
So if I tell you that it's TM40, you're probably not going to guess it then.
Ooh, okay. Well, I always try to like figure out like if the numbers meant anything, because like I knew like, okay, maybe it was earlier, maybe like a gym trainer gave it, or a gym leader gave it to you, because you could buy them too. As oh man. Okay, let me use one of the lifelines.
All right. So the type is a normal type.
Okay, I figured as much. For the defensive move doesn't really help me out that much. Harden is not a TM though. And like Metapod does Harden. Nobody cares about Harden from Metapod. What?
I'll give you here I know what I can do for the next lifeline.
Okay. I'm ready. I'm ready for it too. So
Are
go
you
ahead.
ready? Okay.
Yeah.
So I'll give you 2 Pokemon that can learn this move by leveling up. Okay.
Oh, okay. 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 Cool.
So the one of them is, oh, I guess these are different generations too. Okay, so so from a different generation, one is Sandaconda, but from the
Okay.
OG generation, one of them is Wartortle.
Oh, War Turtle can learn this move. Okay. Okay. So it has. I feel like it has something to do with a shell. Like you have to be able to like shell attack. See, that's the whole thing too. That the name of these stupid things, the name of these TMs are so hard to guess. Like they don't. I don't know. They never made sense to me. I was like,
So
okay, whatever.
think back to what it said. You tuck your head on the
Yeah.
first turn, and then the next
Yeah.
one,
Yeah.
then you go to attack.
Okay.
Use your head.
Like it's not headbutt. There's no way it's headbutt.
It's not headbutt, but it is of that same effect, kind of.
Huh.
It's just got a different name. Two words.
Oh, it is 2 words. Okay. I'm gonna go with head slam.
Nope. Okay, so the
All right,
power
what is it?
the power does 130, the accuracy is 100, and it's a physical
Okay.
move.
Yeah. Okay. So if it's a headbutt, it's like headbutt. It's a move. So like I said, like like those. I could see a Pokemon using it. Like I could be like, oh yeah, here it is, boom. Oh man, but the name of these attacks, I gotta study up now if we're gonna be playing this.
Right.
Yeah. Head charge. I don't know. I give up. I give up.
All right. So the TM40 in red, blue, and yellow is called Skull Bash.
Skull Bash. Oh, come
Yeah.
on. Like I should have known. And I literally, as you say it, I'm like, oh yeah, duh. Like, that sounds like a move Cubone should know.
Yeah.
Like Cubone should be able to learn it.
I think he can, but it's learned by breeding.
Oh,
according
okay.
to this page.
Okay. Learn something new by breeding. I got it.
Yep.
That's cool. It's cool. All right, that's fun. Like I said, I got to study up on these. Maybe we'll stick to Gen 1 because for now, until we get our legs underneath us. But yeah, cool.
So next week,
next
week you get to pick, and then I will try and guess.
Okay. All right. Good. Yeah. I'm looking forward to that. I'm gonna pick a hard one.
I'll make it easy, and I won't study them, so that way it makes it even for us for the first time, and then after that, then we can go through.
Then it's game on. Game on. Okay. So I'll get to study now. I'm looking for one for you.
There you go.
That way,
exactly.
I'll be ready. Okay. Well, cool. Well, hopefully this is something that we do as we continue on with the podcast. If you guys enjoyed it or want to have any other ideas for games or things that we can do on the podcast, let us know one more time at X and YouTube at TM Talk Podcast. Find us on Gmail at tmtalkpodcast@gmail.com, or just go ahead and subscribe, comment on this video as you're watching it now, and let us know what you guys think. Appreciate it so much for all the listens, and I'm excited again to be kind of coming back into the competitive scene and seeing more tournaments kind of pop up. It was a long break between Stuttgart and Toronto, and so like it felt like nothing was happening. It felt really stagnant. Like I didn't know what else to talk about in the Pokemon world. So it's cool to have these tournaments coming back up. I mean, there's always news and stuff coming on, but I'm excited for the rest of the season to kick off. What about you, Ashley?
I am ready. And the next ones that we are going to have, we actually have a few coming up next weekend. So January 24th and 25th, we have Birmingham, we have Merida, and we have the Auckland Special Championships. So we have a lot coming up next week.
A triple header.
Yeah.
As they say. So cool. Be cool to be able to talk about a couple of those and then jump back into Guess the TM, right, for next week and all that kind of fun stuff. So should be cool to do. Yeah, yeah, but like, hey, as always, thank you so much for listening. I really do appreciate it. Looking forward to the rest of the season, and looking forward always to talking to you all. Ashley, you have any last words for our listeners?
We will see you guys in the next episode.
Bye bye.
Bye bye.